Hey everyone, this is Kevin Rothzen, technical agronomist for Channel Seed in West Central Illinois. I wanted to talk to you guys today about a couple things we're out evaluating with our hybrids in our cornfields this time of year, right before harvest. Obviously we're out trying to look at disease right now and trying to see how much, let's say, tar spot and southern rust, how much they affected our plants this year. But another disease we're out looking for is called Fusarium Crown Rot. Crown rot's one of those diseases that we evaluate later in the season, but it moves in early in the growing season for us. So really, crown rot attacks our plant and gets into it early season, sometime after V1 to V5, and really doesn't show itself until this time of year. Really, if you don't have a lot of stresses throughout the season, you might not see it very much. But if you start getting a lot of stresses, whether that's heat stress, moisture stress, even the stress from other diseases, Fusarium crown rot could really jump up and become an issue for us in the fall. So the first thing when you're out in your field, when you're trying to evaluate your corn plants, whether they have crown rot or not, the first thing we look for is ghosting. And when we talk about ghosting, like you see in this plant where it's, a lot of the plants around it are still green, even though we have a lot of tar spot disease on there. This plant is already brown and dead, but the rest of the plants around it are green. So if you see that ghosting, that's when we need to dig a little deeper and see if this truly is crown rot or if there's something else attacking the plant. Now when crown rot does move in, it really limits the plant's ability to bring nutrients and water up in the plant to really fill out the plant and help get the ear filled out. So this crown's brown, dead, and it's really limited what this plant can do to actually finish off the ear itself. The corn plants are really amazing. Even though it can't get its moisture and nutrients up through the roots themselves, it still does everything it can to produce an ear and to produce some grain on that ear. So what it does is starts robbing out the nutrients of the stalk, and you get this really spongy stalk that really doesn't have much integrity to it. So obviously you can see that with one of the challenges with Fusarium crown rot is the stalk integrity goes down, and in turn can make harvests a little harder for everybody else if we get a hard wind and it gets blown over. So this is something that me and a bunch of agronomists across Illinois are out evaluating now to know what products we have that are better or worse for crown rot, and really help you guys figure out how to place these better into the future. Now that we know that what Fusarium crown rot is, how do I diagnose it and how to see where it's at and what it is, how do we manage it? In fields that might have a lot of crown rot in it, we probably need to move up harvest a little bit. You know, just try to get it out of the field before we get a windstorm and it gets blown down. And really the best way and only way we can really fight with crown rot is either plant a more tolerant hybrid, which every lineup out there has even a good or bad crown rot products. It does get worse with more, it overwinters in the ground. So doing a 50-50 rotation with soybeans is a great way to manage crown rot. But if you really do need to go corn on corn, you need to start managing it a little heavier and harder than what you would if you're in a 50-50 rotation. So the first thing we highly recommend guys doing is making sure to put elite seed treatment on every bag of corn that you plant corn on corn. This helps because we have a 4x rate of fungicides on our elite seed treatment compared to the basic. So this gives you a little bit more protection early season to help fight the crown rot pathogen and help keep it from getting into our plants early. Another thing guys have tried and have had a little bit of success in the past with is spraying a V5 fungicide, either as its own pass or maybe even added it into their post pass on their herbicide pass. What this does is really gives it a shot in the arm for the corn plant itself to help work past that Fusarium pathogen as it's trying to work into the plant. So as a quick view of what we're looking at out in the fields right now, crown rots seems to be out there every year. Just depends on what stresses we have out throughout the summer and how bad it gets. As always, don't hesitate to reach out if you need anything. Be glad to come walk fields with you and help evaluate crown rot or anything else out in the field. And always reach out to your local channel agronomist if you're not in my territory. I'm sure they'd be glad to come out and walk with you guys as well. Hope everybody has a great week. See ya.